Hi everyone, I am working on a project at the front of our house by our garage. This is our detached garage, and we keep these large plant potters. I don't know if you call them plant potters, pots out front, and we had planted several things, annuals, over the years. This last fall, let me show you what I put in these, okay? So these are the tops of bulbs. So these were tulips, hyacinths were up front, and they were huge. They were like, I don't know, like 18 or 20 inches up. Now my preference is to take them out of this pot and put them in the landscaping. However, because I have a lot of other projects, which might be something that you're experiencing in your life, I don't have time to put the bulbs quite yet into the landscape. I need to get to some other things. Now, these bulbs are perfectly fine. This is the plant growth that is coming off, and where it ends right here is where the bulb is in the soil. And so don't feel like you're hurting them. This is what happens with bulbs, is the foliage dies back as soon as it gets too hot. Bulbs are a fall planting flower. They're not always flowers. Sometimes we have like hostas and stuff like that, but that you plant them in the fall so that they get cool during the fall time. And then and then what you're going to do is you're going to see those come up in 4 to 6 months. If you're planting them in the fall, you're thinking anytime after August. And now you can plant these all the way up to Christmas in the Pacific Northwest, so you can put them in there. Now bulbs need a cooling off period, so that's why we do that. Now so what we're doing today, so getting to the project, there's a large lip here where we're missing dirt. So what I'm going to do is, that's perfectly fine because these plants aren't very deep. So there's 6. I'm going to plant 3 of each of these in there. And these are, let me see what variety. They're petunias, but they're called Spreading Petunia Easy Wave Plume Vine. That's not the name of the variety though. I can't find the color though. These are wave petunias, but the color is usually called something else. So anyway, we're gonna plant these. Petunias are the flowers that grow and drip down, and that's going to be perfect. Now let me show you what else we're going to plant. In the middle, we're going to put this grass Pennisetum, so it'll have this, just like the picture, the little fire rockets coming up, the panicles. I don't know if they're called panicles when they're grass, but that's what a flower panicle is, so I'll have to actually look at that. But anyway, this is going to be in the middle. We're going to have 3 of the petunias going around. And then we're going to put our salvia in here. This is a black and blue salvia. I had play in the blue salvia out front, and I love it. And salvia will look like this, and then it'll have little flower panicles that'll come up, and they'll be similar to this. So the grass and the salvia will grow tall, but the grass will be in the middle. The petunias will work their way around the edges. We're going to put 3. And what I was saying about the soil, let's set these back here. What I was saying about the soil that's great is that your bulbs are here, so we're not going to disrupt them. However, you can plant any kind of annual you prefer or perennial over a tulip bulb, and the tulip will still come up in the spring, because whatever you have planted there likely has a different growing season. So let's call this a perennial for a second, and say that this is died back, and in the spring the bulbs are coming up, and the bulbs, when they die back, this will take its turn to come up. That's how you can use bulbs versus actual plants that are seeds and not bulbs. And so we can make a very beautiful arrangement here on top, add some soil. When this is all dead and gone, then our beautiful little bulbs will come back up. Now I did say that I'll probably move them because they were so stinking tall and so pretty that I'll probably put them somewhere else, but technically they could stay here forever. So let's take a look at how this is going to turn out. I'm gonna put this salvia in a different location. I'd like the grass to stay like this, and I was thinking that this height might actually throw it off. So I'm gonna take the salvia out of the mix and just put the petunias all the way around. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna add some biotone to give these guys a boost of energy. The bulbs would have likely had depleted some of the nutrients, so we're gonna add some back here. Okay, so again, this is what it looks like. These will perk up as soon as the water absorbs. It is gonna be the Pennisetum in the middle, and it'll shoot up in the middle. These will drape down, and these are being called plum petunias is what I found. So this is what it'll look like. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other one, and we are going to put the salvia. I think we can put it maybe in those two. So we'll go ahead and put it over there. Again, we can pull off the little dead parts. And I have had these bulbs in here well past the time that they needed to be. Well, what I mean is I didn't cut them back right away, because after the bloom ends, or the flower and stops blooming, the plant itself will absorb nutrients. And so I let that happen for a period of time up until a couple weeks ago. And then we cut them back to these nubs, and now they're releasing. So don't need these. Some of them are still not letting go. Oh, that one was tough. So basically this is where it was attached to the bulb. And what's the coolest thing about bulbs that I absolutely love, oh dang it, I pulled this one up. Okay. Is that, look, they multiply. So now we've got 3 bulbs. Here's what's happening, is the plant's coming up in the middle. Let's put that back in there so it comes back up next year. So bulbs reproduce themselves, which is super fun and nice. So, I mean, talk about affordability. You're not having to buy or plant these again over and over and over again. They're gonna come back for you each year. Now, if you plant, let's say 100, you might get 85 the next year, maybe 60 the next year, and 50, you know, it does go down. It is like anything, it's susceptible to the environment it is in. Here's that Pennisetum. It's gonna go in the middle. But in most cases, you're really getting a lot of bang for your buck, because you're receiving the benefits of this plant every single year. Not these petunias, but the bulbs themselves that come back every year. Biotone. The great thing about both of these plants, and even the salvia that we do not have in here, is that they are vigorous growers. So you're gonna see a lot of increase in plant matter, and, you know, really makes a really nice plant. These will triple, quadruple themselves and be spilling over in no time. And it is true, if you see little pieces like this where the flower is wilted, if you take it off, I do find that it promotes better and more vigorous blooms. You could even put a fertilizer in here where it promotes bloom growth. Okay, take a look. Pennisetum in the middle. It'll have these beautiful little grassy poofs at the end, kind of like a tail, a foxtail. And these are petunias. Let's go put the salvia in the other buckets and we can call it a day. Okay, this one's pretty full, and that is sweet potato vine that's gonna drape out. This one is as well. So we're gonna move on to this one. These are dahlias. So what I'm trying to think is if this would look nice with these in the back. We kind of want the height. And what I might do is let these take on some growth and then plant them into the landscape. Like I said before, sometimes we put plants in a place for a period of time until we can find another location that we prefer. So while I don't think this is their forever home, they can live here for a little while. And I put them behind the dahlia so that they would come up from behind and be beautiful. And this dahlia is still putting on a lot of growth. It was literally a quarter of this size when we started. And this one got a little scorching from the sun, but don't worry, it'll recover perfectly. Gardening is a joy. You get to start here and then possibly go into the landscape or do other things. Those sweet potato vines are sweet, just like the name states. And I absolutely love them. Okay, everybody, I'm gonna put things away and we are headed to a graduation party. I really hope you enjoy these videos. I really enjoy sharing them. It's sometimes fun because most of the time my audience is my family, for them to catch up with us, see what we're doing, see what we're growing. My husband's from Florida, so we're not always together. So it is nice to share these videos and this information out. Thank you so much. I hope to see you in the next one, and have a great day.